Good evening and welcome to Blueprint Explosive Exclusive. I'm Madhavdas G. Viewers, GST 2.0 has been rolled out and it has marked a historical shift in the country's indirect taxation, which the Prime Minister has described as the dawn of a new economic chapter in his address to the nation on the eve of Navratri. 4 slabs have now been merged into just 2, that is 5% and 18%. The reduction of slabs is expected to make compliance easier and will be leading to a significant tax rate cut on many items, especially daily household essentials. Additionally, life and health insurance policies, automobiles and transport, electronics, appliances, stationery, beauty services, lifestyle services, and machinery will become cheaper. The Prime Minister has hailed GST reform and announced the start of GST Bachat Utsav, or a GST savings festival, quote-unquote. In his letter to the nation, the PM has asked people to celebrate the GST Bachat Utsav, saying lower rates mean more savings for every household and greater ease for business. Addressing a rally in Arunachal's Itanagar, Prime Minister has termed GST 2.0 as a double bonanza for the people.
कि आज से देश में नेक्स्ट जनरेशन जीएसटी रिफॉर्म्स लागू हुए हैं। जीएसटी बचत उत्सव की शुरुआत हुई है। त्योहारों के इस मौसम में जनता जनार्दन को ये डबल बोनांजा मिला है।
For the opposition, however, the reforms in GST structures too little, too late, with the Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge calling it a band-aid solution after leaving people to suffer by imposing what he has termed as a Gabbar Singh tax. The Congress party has also accused Prime Minister Modi of taking quote-unquote sole ownership of this reform and asserted that Congress had been demanding GST 2.0 since July 2017. What people, however, got instead was GST 1.5. Let's listen in to what the opposition has had to say.
देखिए, जुलाई 2017 में जीएसटी पहली बार लागू हुआ। तभी राहुल गांधी जी ने कहा, कांग्रेस पार्टी ने कहा, यह गब्बर सिंह टैक्स है। यह टैक्स नाइदर गुड है या सिंपल है, सरल नहीं है, अच्छा टैक्स नहीं है, ये खतरनाक रहेगा हमारी अर्थव्यवस्था के लिए। नोटबंदी के बाद ये दूसरा झटका लगेगा। 8 साल हुए हैं, 8 साल उन्होंने ये माना नहीं। हम मांग करते रहे जीएसटी में सुधार लाइए, दूसरा अवतार जीएसटी का लाइए, उन्होंने बात सुनी नहीं।
पहले जीएसटी के फायदे गिनवाए देश को, जीएसटी से ये होगा, 55 लाख करोड़ की लूट हुई, खत्म हुई। अब आप उत्सव मना रहे हैं। उस उत्सव का लिए मुझे भी फोन आ रहे हैं बहुत जगहों से कि चारों तरफ भीड़ उमड़ पड़ी है, लाखों की भीड़ मार्केट के अंदर खड़ी है कि मोदी जी की महासेल लगी है, आओ लूट सको तो लूट लो। ये बर्बाद कर देगा व्यापारी को। तो ये उत्सव है या मातम है? ये मातम है, ये व्यापारियों की बर्बादी का मातम है। अब
The government, however, hit back at the opposition, citing high taxes in the UPA era and branding Congress the Bade Dada of Gabbar Singh tax.
देखिए, जहां तक विपक्ष का आरोप है कि गब्बर सिंह टैक्स है, जीएसटी लाने का प्रपोजल किसने लाया था? 14 के पहले 10 साल पहले से कांग्रेस गवर्नमेंट नहीं लेकर आई थी। लेकिन उस समय के भारत सरकार पे प्रदेश सरकारों का विश्वास नहीं था, आम सहमति नहीं बन पा रही थी, इस नाते पेंडिंग पड़ा हुआ था। प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में 2014 में सरकार बनी और जेटली जी को ये काम प्रधानमंत्री जी ने सौंपा और 2017 में सभी प्रदेशों से बात करके और एक सहमति बनाकर और काउंसिल का गठन करके कि 14% का उनको हम लोग 14% का हम लोग हर साल का उनको सेशन देंगे, उस पर वाक़ई सहमति बनी और 8 साल से सभी प्रदेश एकजुट होकर के काउंसिल में निर्णय लेते रहे।
देखिए, यूपीए के समय में यहाँ था टैक्स, मैंने आपको संख्या बताई, आपको कई एग्जाम्पल्स बताए। आप जरा खड़गे जी से पूछिए, आप ही जाके पूछें जरूर, खड़गे जी से पूछिए कि आपके टाइम में सीमेंट का कितना था भाई, टैक्स की रेट कितनी थी? आपके टाइम में सैनिटरी पैड पे कितना टैक्स रेट था? आपके टाइम में फुटवेयर पे कितना टैक्स रेट था? टीवी पे, रेफ्रिजरेटर पे कितना टैक्स रेट था? खड़गे जी के टाइम में, कांग्रेस के समय में टीवी पे 30% टैक्स था। क्या कहना चाहिए, गब्बर सिंह के भी बड़े दादा कांग्रेस थे।
हमने कभी नहीं कहा कि सब कुछ हमने ही किया। एक ये बुद्धिजीवी व्यक्ति का और बयान है कि ये तो जीएसटी काउंसिल ने किया। अरे भाई, हम कहाँ कह रहे हैं कि जीएसटी काउंसिल ने नहीं किया, पर जीएसटी काउंसिल का आप स्ट्रक्चर समझते हैं ना। देश की वित्त मंत्री जी हैं, उसमें राज्यों के भी वित्त मंत्री हैं, पर प्रपोजल कौन लेके आता है? चेक कर लें रिकॉर्ड, प्रपोजल हम लेके गए थे जीएसटी रिडक्शन के, वो लाए थे।
All right, let's take this across to our guest now. Joining us is Guru Prakash, national spokesperson of the BJP. Rajat Sethi is author and economist joining us. Dr. Akashdeep Muni is a political analyst who's with us. Also with us is Dr. Pooja Mishra, national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. Let me start with you. First, Guru Prakash, it's too little too late. That seems to be the biggest message coming out from the various opposition parties. What would you say as far as this criticism coming out from the Congress and other opposition leaders?
No, Madhav, honestly speaking, this criticism has no connection to any logic. Too little, too late, then I can say too little, too late for 70 years as well. You have been in power since 1952 and till 2016. What sort of argument is this? This is an absolute preposterous argument, fallacious argument. But what we have to understand at the Congress party, and someone spoke really well when I was listening to the initial set of observations as well, that the Bharatiya Janata Party, Prime Minister Modi has ensured that the consumer is benefited, the entrepreneur is benefited, every single person. This has to be, Madhav, one of the most important, remarkable decisions in the economic history of our country. You see the 5, 12, 18, 28, all the slabs are now effectively gone. LIC, health insurance for the employees. In fact, as part of outreach, I was in Gujarat. I was speaking with the members of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Gujarat, and all of them are ecstatic about it. People across the country. And yesterday, in his address, Honorable Prime Minister has given us a structure, has given us an outline. Every single person, उपभोक्ता भी, उद्यमी भी, end users भी, consumer भी, all of us will be benefited. It is a decision which has been welcomed by 140 crore people of our country. And any politics over it must be criticized, must be discouraged.
Okay. Dr. Akashdeep Muni, if the industry is welcoming it, as the BJP spokesperson says, if citizens are going to benefit from lower taxes and hence lower prices, what really is the objection? Isn't this something that we should all be celebrating as a country?
Madhavji, the objection is yesterday Pradhan Mantri Modi ji spoke as if he has not implemented GST in 2017. But someone else had. You should have folded your hands and apologized to the nation. Sir, it was you who for the last 8 years turned GST into Garbhar Singh tax. That's Modi ji. Looted people ruthlessly. Just think, in 2017-18 you collected 11 lakh crore tax, and in 2024-25 you collected 22 lakh crore tax. Today you only did what Rahul Gandhi has already said, reduce the GST rate, keep nothing above the standard 18%. You are saying that this time the festival season should be sweet. Then why did you make the several festival seasons bitter for the last 8 years? Now, if you want, even today you can reduce petrol and diesel prices. Why aren't you doing so? And you say knowingly or unknowingly, foreign things they have entered, the Swadeshi argument, that foreign things have entered our lives. Modi ji, your cars are German BMWs, Mercedes, which are part of your security convoy. His pen is Germany's Mont Blanc, has been seen signing several documents.
Muni, if the same question is turned around and asked to you, you know, you have state governments in Karnataka, in Telangana, in Himachal. Will you reduce petrol and diesel prices there? Since you're so concerned about the burden on the common man, the Aam Aadmi?
No, who is talking about the GST? Why don't you bring...
You're concerned about high prices. You are talking about... You just said petrol prices.
No,
you just said it. No. Don't run away. Don't run away. You just mentioned petrol prices. At least stick to your word, Akashdeep Muni. You're debating. You have full freedom to raise any issue. But if you have the issue, if you want me to play it out, I can play out that statement that you just made. You specifically mentioned fuel prices. Why don't the state governments run by opposition parties, since you're so concerned, and it's a valid concern, why don't you ease the burden for the common man?
Very good question. GST, petrol and diesel don't come in GST.
Then why are you raising it?
We are talking about...
Then why are you raising it in a debate on GST?
Come in GST.
Akashdeep Muni, you know, there has to be some logic in what you say. You raise an issue and then you run away from that issue.
आप बोलने नहीं दे रहे हो.
सर, आप जो बोल रहे हो उसको थोड़ा सा तर्क में थोड़ा सेंस होना चाहिए ना. आप अभी कह रहे थे कि क्यों नहीं है, और जब आपसे जब पूछा जाता है कि विपक्ष की पार्टियां क्यों नहीं करती, आप कह रहे हैं कि इसके दायरे में आता नहीं है, तो क्यों रेस कर रहे हैं फिर आप?
बात कर रहे हैं सर, मुझे 10 सेकंड दीजिए बिना रोक के. हम जीएसटी
आप 30 सेकंड लीजिए, बट प्लीज स्पीक सेंस. यस, गो अहेड.
अरे सर, आपको सेंस नहीं लग रहा, आपको व्यूअर्स को डिसाइड करने दीजिए ना, सेंस बोल रहा हूँ कि नहीं, अदरवाइज
तो फिर तो आपको काउंटर क्वेश्चन लेना पड़ेगा आकाशदीप मुनि, ऐसे नहीं छोड़े जा सकते. दिस इज नॉट अ फ्री रन. यू नॉट कम हियर टू गिव अ मोनोलॉग. दिस इज अ डिबेट. So be prepared to get counter questions. 30 seconds begins now.
Yeah. I am saying, as today we are talking about GST, why doesn't the central government bring petrol and diesel within GST, which the state government cannot? The state government can reduce their taxes, cannot bring it into the GST. I am asking, please bring it into the GST and keep it at 18%. Why you have kept it so high?
There are opposition parties ready to do this? Are all opposition parties on board to doing this?
Has the central government got the proposal?
No. That is a separate issue. Are you going to be ready to do this?
Why?
Okay, let me bring in some other panelists now. Rajat, come in on this. This is for the center to do. You could have brought in fuel prices in. And why for 7 years were the tax rates so high? Because you have kept, now you're saying celebrate the festivals and that they will be eased. Why could this have not happened 7 years ago? Please answer the questions of Dr. Akashdeep Muni.
See, I won't answer any atrocious questions. You know, there is something called criticism for the sake of criticism. Now, you have to say something because you have a bhopo outside, you have to speak before the microphone. To kuch to bolna hi hai. So in that whole rhythm, you keep on saying and utter as much as you can without making any logical coherence. Again, I'm not going to get into that. I'll answer your questions directly. A, petrol not under GST. States levy VAT on petrol and they do not want petrol under GST because it is one degree of freedom that the states have wherein they can levy the duties and the taxation to fill in any kind of financial delta that they fall short of, etc. This is why states and states of all hues and colors, all political shades have opposed petrol coming under GST. That's number one. Number two, they say that why wasn't it done 7 years, 5 years prior? Now, let me tell you, states, when this entire mega restructuring of our consumption tax, which was service tax and octroys and excise and all of those were slashed together and brought together under GST, lot of states used to crib about. I'll tell you an example. Back in those negotiations around 2017, 2018, if fish had one duty rate, certain states used to say that fermented fish should have a different rate. And a processed fish should have a different rate. And all of these, by the way, questions were not coming from the center. These were coming from states as diverse as a country that India is. Everybody has its own sensitivities.
Right.
In order to be accommodative of where the states were coming from, was the structure brought in. And it was brought in unanimously. It was Pranab Mukherjee ji back then who was the president who pressed the midnight button and launched this thing, and everybody, the entire central hall was present over there. Today you want to go and do a U-turn as if people will forget what happened in 2017, 2018. So let's not fool ourselves. You want to criticize, go do it in public, dharna, pradarshan, everything that you want. Stop paying GST. Do a civil disobedience against GST. We'll see how much do citizens and our agencies react to that. But let's not try and fool our people. After over the past 5 years, when COVID came, one of the immediate reactions from the state governments was that there is delta. Every state is falling short of their revenue targets. Therefore, a cess and a compensation cess was created, and that cess was levied on everybody. This was the reason why major reforms that could have been brought under GST were deferred because of this thing. It is only now that the sunset of those sets are now kicking in.
Right.
That you can actually roll out these mega reforms.
Let me bring in the Samajwadi Party. Pooja Mishra, there was a dire situation during COVID. Those reforms could have been rolled out at that point of time. We all know the situation then that existed globally, not just here in India. That is one reason. And of course, you also heard what the Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnav said, that this is the UPA government was Gabbar Singh tax ka dada. There were much higher taxes during the previous regime of the UPA. Your response to these 2 points, Pooja Mishra.
First of all, good evening.
I think we've lost that line there with Pooja. I apologize. We'll try and connect with Pooja in just a minute. But Dr. Muni, would you like to take that question? All right, Pooja Mishra is back with us. Yes, Pooja Mishra.
Yes.
Go ahead.
First of all, happy Navratri to each and everyone and to your viewers too. And talking about the GST in 2017, was it COVID? And did we knew that COVID will come? Did we have any idea? No. At that time, GST was imposed. So our government is running policies on a trial and error basis. They impose the policy, and when they fail, then they go for the correction into fallout. Now our Prime Minister is saying that कि अब बहुत जो है बचत उत्सव मनाया जाएगा. For 8 years, it was Loot Mahotsav by the government, And talking about the GST, when GST was imposed, now only they were talking about कि price fees ले रहे थे, ये ले रहे थे, we had the difference. We also heard our finance minister describing the caramelized popcorn and the salted popcorn and the plain popcorn. And the 40% slab now imposed are not only on the which you are calling sin taxes or sin GST. That's not sin. Having maaza is not sin. Having fruity is not sin. That is imposed on that also, and that doesn't come into luxury. If you say that having maaza drink, having fruity drink comes under luxury, I won't say that. The common people have it. Okay, you are correcting your mistake. When you GST imposed, you didn't think about the outcome. Now you impose a policy, then start managing the fallout.
Ma'am, when you're questioning the government for passing the GST in 2017, was the GST then passed unanimously or not?
It was passed. Just I already said that they are running policies on the basis of trial matter.
Yes or no? Was it passed unanimously or not? Simple question I'm asking you. Was it passed unanimously? Was it not passed unanimously?
It was passed unanimously.
So, ma'am, if there were such problems, why did you pass it unanimously? You should have raised objection then, instead of complaining now.
How we were supposed to raise an objection?
Ma'am, you were in parliament. How do you raise objection when there is a bill?
Yeah.
What is happening in the last session? There is dharna production on every issue. When such a monumental tax reform happens, if there are issues and you want change, then you should tell the government. Let me bring in Guru Prakash on that. Guru Prakash, you're bringing in these changes too late. This could have happened much earlier. Why was it not there in the initial form of the policy when it was being brought in? Your response to that, Guru Prakash.
No, Madhav, a very important and relevant component that is missing in this conversation is the role of the states. All of us remember the atrocious planning commission. States literally had to go and beg in front of the members of planning commission. But post the recommendation of 14 Finance Commission and post GST, someone very aptly said that 14% compensation. And let's say you are having 100 rupees, the 14% would be 114. On 114, the 14% would be your compensation. So the point is not this. For the first time, we have seen that the spirit of Team India, state government and central government on the same footing. The state government benefiting from these longer-term policy benefits. But the point is, the fact of the matter remains that the opposition, for the sake of opposition, they don't have any rational or a logical opposition to it. I am live from Bihar, Madhav. Bihar is welcoming Ma Durga. After that, there will be Diwali. And post that, there will be Lok Astha Ka Mahaparv Chhat. You should see Bihar. If Bihar validates, if Bihar gives you approval, then will they believe or not? And let me tell you with all the confidence and with all the humility that the 14 crore people of Bihar have accepted this. And this will reflect in the verdict before November 22nd.
Guru Prakash, we'll have to leave it there, completely out of time. Guru Prakash, Rajat Sethi, Dr. Akashdeep Muni and Dr. Pooja Mishra, I'd like to thank all of you for joining us. Clearly, the politics over this has not ended, even though a massive reform is now kicked in. Of course, the impact on that as far as the economy is yet to be seen in coming days. Thanks so much for joining us on this debate.